Hey guys, I am here to show you a little bit about the mod I've been working on. For anybody who's familiar with the game Final Fantasy VII, came out in like 1997, I believe. Really classic old school RPG. Really interesting, innovative magic system. That magic system is called Materia, for the long and short of it. And I am trying to implement that system into my mod. So I'm going to just go over here real quick. I will give you a rundown on basically how it works and give you a few examples, and then I'll showcase a couple of the skills that I've made to implement this system. Alright, so the first thing over here, we have these little yellow orbs. Those are materia. You can socket them in your equipment, weapons, armor, whatever. This is death blow materia. There are 3 ranks, 1, 2, and 3. Each one gives a different kind of bonus. Obviously, you have to unlock the higher level ranks as you go. This is obviously for testing purposes. Alright, so you can put them in any socketed item. I just have a few here ready to go. And the way I've done this is I made it so that socketing these types of gems, or socketables, will create a rune word. And that rune word will give you the bonus that the materia is supposed to be giving you. And I've made quite a long list of rune words to cover all possible materia combinations. Now, note I have had to restrict the total number of materia combinations somewhat, because my original design was going to be something crazy like, 200,000 different combinations, and that's really just not feasible to do. Where I'm sitting at now, I've got just over 1,000, I believe. I think it's somewhere around 1,100. And most of them you wouldn't even notice in the implementation. But there's several different kind of permutations and whatever. Alright, so I'm going to take this death blow materia and put it into this item. And it creates, I'm super original, death blow rank 1. The description here, +1 to earth 5, persist 2 in parentheses. That's actually just a placeholder name for all my materia. All of the materia skills are going to have that name, just to save myself a little bit of time while I'm testing. So it gives you 5 strength, -2 dexterity, and then the cap already had some fire resist on it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and equip that. And then you can check out this death blow skill. The way death blow is supposed to work is it gives you massively increased damage. As you can see, my regular attack damage is 23 to 66. My death blow damage is roughly double that. So it increases your damage at the cost of hit chance. I couldn't really make it work with just modifying your 2-hit. So the way I did it is I gave it a random chance to completely negate your 2-hit. So you will always miss if that chance is passed, basically. Alright, so you sit here and you attack, and it takes a big chunk of life. I did a nice little overlay. There's nothing super fancy about the skill, but you can see my left attack button, it does almost no damage. And my right attack button is hitting for considerably harder. So I'll go ahead and give you just a look at the other 2 ranks. They're nothing special. They are basically just a slightly higher damage increase. This one does quite a bit more damage at the cost of a higher miss chance. And I did that so that you can have kind of a trade-off. You can choose to use a higher rank if you feel like it's appropriate to increase your total average damage at the cost of a chance to miss quite regularly. I mean, obviously, if you're single hitting these enemies to begin with, this would be a pointless exercise because you're just overkilling. But with these enemies that have a bunch of life, it's nice to be able to hit them fewer times. And as you notice, I am missing considerably more. Now with the rank 3 option, you'll notice that I miss all the time, but I'm guaranteed to one-shot these guys with it. I figured death blow isn't going to be a super sought-after skill, but it is definitely good for either characters with high attack speed and low damage, or characters facing really powerful opponents. Alright, so I'm just going to give you a quick overview of multi-attack. This one's nothing super original, but I feel like the implementation is very nice. Alright, so let's do rank 1 here. Well, that might have been rank 3 or something. As you can see, it just gives you a bunch of attacks. Your rollback is improved with every rank. So that's rank 2. This is going to be rank 1. And yeah, people are going to say, yeah, that's basically just Zeal. Yeah, it is. But I feel like the design philosophy of monsters and all that kind of thing will make it a much more desirable, appropriate skill for the game. You know, you're not going to have these frozen orb skills that just hit everything on the screen and obliterate anything that comes nearby. Alright, next one is the area attack skill. This one actually took me quite a while to work out, but let me show you what it does. It slows your attack speed, which is a understandable side effect of the area damage effect, and it hits everything in the area. Now, I don't know if you'd be able to tell very well, but there's a little crit overlay just to give the character a better idea of where they're hitting. And the different ranks increase the area slightly and kind of ease up on the attack speed penalty. So, ranking up that, pretty useful. I do actually plan to go over and kind of reevaluate some of these ranking ups because I want each rank to feel incredibly powerful. You know, the way it's going to work is you've got this stat right here, AP. As you kill enemies, you gain AP. You will transmute materia in the cube to level up the materia, and that is going to unlock your higher ranks. And I want that to feel like it has a real weight to it because I want your AP expenses to feel really important. You know, like, okay, I'm okay with rank 1 of this one materia I'm using, but I really feel like I need to unlock rank 2 over here. And that's the kind of design philosophy I'm going with. I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration of some of the spells I've created. None of them are too fancy because I haven't had a chance to go through and design some of the permutations like I talked about earlier. Alright, so I'm going to go with Poison 1 on my weapon. I'm going to just equip that. I'm going to check all these garbage things. Okay. So Poison 1, nothing super fancy. Poison's an enemy. These are designed to be incredibly low-level basic skills. Let's go with Earth 1. This one is far from done. As you guys who are on the Discord channel have noticed, I've been talking about trying to design a visual effect for this skill. And this is really just a placeholder. I kind of gave it a rest for a minute because I was getting really frustrated trying to make it work, but you know, it hits them. It does some damage. Lightning, again, nothing super fancy. It's your typical deal damage with lightning spell. And if you notice, these spells don't really have any inherent advantage over like a melee attack, except for that they're ranged, obviously. But that's the way magic works in my mind. So when you look at these, you say, well, you can just hit one enemy at once. And that's really no different than swinging a sword or shooting an arrow or bow. So that's my design philosophy. And yes, you'll be able to unlock more powerful versions and different options and all that kind of stuff. And as your character gains levels and progresses, you'll be able to hit more people and have more impact with each spellcast. But for now, they're just nice little pokey, kill a little bit of zombies. And I mean, I just populated Bloodmoor with a crap ton of zombies so that I could test different skills and effects in it, obviously. I am going to put a disclaimer out here. This mod is nowhere near finished. Its progress is on the very low end scale. I'm just trying to develop a core for what I'd like to build off of. And I don't know if I'll ever finish. I can't guarantee that there's going to be a complete mod coming out anytime in the future. And that's because I don't have the time to do level design, you know, develop all new graphics, redo all the monsters, you know, that I just don't have the time to do a full redesign. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little experimental preview, and I would love to hear some feedback on the system, any suggestions or thoughts. The design here has been modified quite a bit from my original design. As I said, I've had to cut back in a lot of ways due to limitations of Diablo, and I am using so many plugins to make this happen. The Cube Op plugin, all kinds of visual plugins. I will just quickly reference this UI is obviously nowhere near complete. I started working on the health bubbles just because of a little thing that Kingpin was working on that allowed me to do some nifty graphical effects. Not anywhere close to finished. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'd love to hear some feedback.